This week, it's a matter of life or death for the hotel inspector.
Why do I have to keep coming to places like this? Do we have bank borrowings that are worrisome?
Yes.
Prisoners in Parkhurst probably get better facilities than that.
Yeah.
It's a bit grim, Brian.
OK. In my mind, the market was diminishing.
No, I tell you what, in my mind, I don't think your rooms are nice enough. If you carry on doing it the way you are at the moment, you are not going to have a business to worry about because you will be dead.
This is the Key West Hotel, situated a short walk from the beautiful beaches of Newquay. But it's in trouble. Its owners, Brian and Jill Scott, invested everything they had in pursuit of a dream. In reality, they'd bought a nightmare.
We were led to believe that the business and the buildings were in better shape than they actually were.
When research chemist Brian was made redundant, he and wife Jill decided to embark on one last adventure en route to retirement.
We decided to throw caution to the wind and start our life anew.
They gambled all their life savings on the 23-bedroomed Key West Hotel.
We envisaged being a family hotel, you know, families, buckets and spades, that sort of thing. But we nearly sank.
The families weren't forthcoming. The phone rang, but not with the clientele they craved.
Good afternoon, Key West Hotel, can I help you? Yeah, we do. We take stags and hens.
To fill the empty rooms, Brian and Jill were forced to turn to the stag and hen market, juggling them with turkey and tinsel coach parties.
We did take a few rugby clubs and football clubs and they virtually trashed the hotel. Then the coach company people would come in and complain that the hotel wasn't up to scratch.
They're trapped, and the Key West has become a weight around their necks.
The building has been like a sponge. It's absorbed every penny we've ever had. It's taken in all our pension plan, it's taken in all our insurance policies. Every penny we've got is now owed to the bank.
Instead of easing them into an early retirement, the Key West is accelerating Brian to an early grave.
We need help. There's no two ways about it, because I really am having problems in coping with all this.
The last chance for Brian and Jill is to call in eminent hotelier Ruth Watson. It's her mission to save the Key West from the stag and hen zoo that it's stuck in.
What's really noticeable about Newquay is that every other building is a hotel. I love the blue and white decor. It's very fresh, it's very sunny. What I don't like is the absence of signage. There's nothing that says this hotel has got any awards from any organisation whatsoever, and this may well be significant.
In a town awash with guest houses and hotels, not having a rating immediately puts the Key West at the bottom of the pile and the market. But a rating isn't the only thing conspicuous by its absence.
This intrinsically is quite a nice little space. It's got more of a lobby feel to it than many of a hotel I've been into, but the decoration is really crap. There's nobody here. Great shame. Doesn't say why there's nobody here.
Brian and Jill are in the bungalow at the end of the hotel's garden, oblivious to Ruth's arrival. She takes the opportunity to explore in peace.
The thing that strikes me immediately here is that there are guest bedrooms in what feels like the entrance hall. This is weird. You'd expect public rooms here. Just need to see what one of the rooms looks like. Oh, God. Oh, God. Why do I have to keep coming to places like this? What is going on? You don't go into a room through a bathroom. This is... It is so cruddy, it's so tiny, the radiator's rusting and leaking. I wouldn't want to be buried in this room. Now, my instant impression again is like some kind of slightly upmarket working men's club, very old-fashioned. And this awful dead red, it's like sort of dead bat's blood or something. It's horrible. And it's overwhelming. I hate the colours. I hate them.
Next in line, a double bedroom with an ensuite.
It's absolutely as basic as you can get. Nice view of the fire escape. This hotel is so tired. My initial thought is just close it down.
After her impromptu tour, Ruth finally discovers a bell to alert the owners.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, hiya. I'm Ruth.
Hello, Ruth. I'm Jill.
Jill, hi. Hello.
Hi, I'm Brian.
Hello. And who's this?
And that's Jazz.
Hello.
She's an integral part of the family.
Isn't she cute?
Ruth is eager to get down to business.
So, you had a real lifestyle change when you came into this business. What on earth made you decide to stop what you were doing and become hoteliers?
We'd always wanted to open a pub or a guest house or a small hotel.
I'm beginning to think that almost the entire population of this country wants to be a hotelier or in a pub.
Exactly.
I mean, why? Why did you think it was going to be a walk in the park?
Rose-coloured glasses,
Yeah.
totally naive,
And
100%, didn't have a clue. I managed to swap 7 hours a day, 5 days a week for 18 hours a day, 7 days a week. It sucks.
So, do we have bank borrowings that are worrisome?
Yes.
And is your bank manager knocking on the door and...
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes, that's
Yes.
why we're here.
Yes. And do we have any cut-off point?
Yes, last
About it.
September.
So we're in a slightly sink or swim situation. Right. But you are shut at the moment for how long?
We're not shut.
No.
We just haven't got any business.
Okay.
Brian and Jill Scott are in trouble. In 4 years of running the Key West Hotel in Newquay, they're yet to make a profit. Their hotel is hemorrhaging money and the debts are mounting. The small amount of income they have is trapped in the stag and hen market.
You don't know what's coming through the door.
That's not the way to do it, is it?
In desperation, they've turned to award-winning hotelier Ruth Watson. They're hoping she can help them escape the stag and hen brigade.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
To get to the root of the trouble, Ruth has begun a thorough investigation and she's already identified a crucial problem. The tired and dated interior is urgently in need of updating.
Now, my instant impression again is like some kind of slightly upmarket working men's club, very old-fashioned.
And the Key West has no industry rating, a serious problem in a competitive market like Newquay. Ruth is keen to get a better understanding of the day-to-day running of the hotel, so she's shadowing Brian.
Okay, have you got a phone number?
Yeah, I think you should put it on the bottom.
Okay, thanks. Thanks a lot. Cheers. It's a transfer from another hotel. It looks like they've overbooked. They've got a whole coach that need to be all in one room and they can't fit them in.
Right. And I don't think you mean a whole coach in one room, you mean one hotel.
No, of
That's
course.
all right. No, I just thought that'd be a very big room. That's okay. So this is worth about £4,000?
Yes.
Well, that's, you know, quite encouraging anyway, isn't it?
Yeah,
Better
so
than a
I'll
kick in
take
the head.
that down to the office with us and see if we can fit them in.
Great. Okay.
If you just follow me this way and we'll work our way down. Right, my actual office is down in our own bungalow, so it's a bit of a long walk, but mind your feet on the stairs.
Okay. This is an extraordinary route, I have to say. Golly gosh. What a trail! What a trail!
Right, this is where I do all the administration. It's rather small, but it does work.
In bed.
Well,
the hotel office is in the bedroom.
Yes, I'm afraid room is a premium.
For you to have to come all the way down here and be in your bedroom and behind the door doesn't make it easy.
No, you're quite right. It is a little bit awkward.
Okay. All right, so this is the diary, I understand
Yeah.
that. And what is the average rate? I mean, is this £19 significant? Is that per head?
Yes, that is per head per night.
That's not very much money, is it?
No, it is not very much money.
And is that what you have to offer coach parties?
Yes.
But this is June.
Yes.
But that means for a full hotel, you're getting
Yes.
£1,000. I mean, you know, low coupon business is one thing. At the same time, if it's not delivering enough turnover throughout the course of the year with enough profit, what's the point of driving yourself in the grave to get it?
I haven't got enough confidence in the hotel being anything other than a budget hotel.
With some rating, do you think you could ask more for your rooms from the coach companies?
I don't feel that I would be honest with my customers if I put the prices up without having some sort of recognition in the industry.
OK. Well, I think... Is that my big customer?
That's the front door.
Oh.
The confusion between a doorbell and a telephone call is symptomatic of the chaos behind the scenes at the Key West. Next on Ruth's list, the hotel's kitchen.
Golly gosh. You know, the idea of cooking for 50 people in here kind of is a bit daunting, really. Because this is essentially a domestic kitchen with a jolly good stove. And these
are our menus. You can see from there that we can do quite a varied menu to suit the customers, mainly for the coaching. And we have a Christmas menu there as well, which is a little bit extra.
I mean, this is unbelievably old-fashioned. You're talking about sort of Britain, Kirker 1964.
My customers like circa 1964, and I want to keep my customers happy.
I have to be absolutely honest, and looking at these menus, it just makes me feel very gloomy. And the idea of having sort of peach gatto and, you know, I don't know, prawn salad and jacket potato for a supper, I mean, I can't stand it. But, you know, but that's what your customers at the moment want, so that's fair enough, you know. Anyway, show me the refrigeration.
Certainly.
This needs to work, this kitchen, and obviously...
Yes, it does. This is our day-to-day produce fridge.
Yeah.
Obviously, out of season, we tend not to have these going. And our main fridge here for all the storage for everything that we need during the week.
Right, and you also use this as your laundry storage as well. Clean linen stored in the same place as food prep. It's a very uncomfortable fit.
So the kitchen, much like the office, is worryingly disorganised. Finally, it's the turn of the bedrooms.
This is a small double.
It's one of our smallest ones. This is a room that I am concerned about.
I'm going to be very honest with you, Brian. I haven't seen many bedrooms I think are quite right. Things like that washstand with that terrible casing. Prisoners in Parkhurst probably get better facilities than that. It's kind of not very nice, you know. And this shower, I mean, just sort of wedged in the corner here. You know, the finish on that shower tap there. It's a bit grim, Brian. It's a bit grim.
I accept your criticism on that. I have a turnover of housekeepers I've tried to get in there and clean all these things. It's silly little things. I go in and somebody says, "You've got mould on the ceiling." And I go in, I got a cobweb up there, for Christ's sake. It's true. It is absolutely true.
Brian clearly has little confidence in himself or his hotel. Ruth is concerned for his health.
One of the things I wanted to talk to you about is that you're obviously a couple dear to each other. You have a nice vibe together. How much are you worried by the fact that Brian is quite obviously really stressed out and overworked?
Absolutely. I do worry about his health constantly. You know, I just think one day we're not sort of going to go out here together. We're going to...
No,
so,
don't say that.
I know, but it feels like that sometimes. It does feel like... We're going to go out in a box.
The idea of Brian having another season, like last year, not good news.
No. No, I dread to think how he'll get through it, to be honest.
It's a worse state of affairs than Ruth had first feared. It's more than just the hotel at stake. Ruth calls a summit.
First of all, how do we build the coach business and maybe school parties?
Yes.
How do we get you a rating so all of those parties pay you more money per person per night? I mean, that rate of 19 quid is giving you nothing. It costs you 10 quid to get a Chinese takeaway and you don't get a bed with it.
It's true.
You know, if the worst comes to the worst, do we have to flog it?
I would like to see closure, and if I did sell it, I would like to sell it on a high rather than on a low.
Yeah, you'd like to feel you'd made some sort
feel...
of success of it first.
Yes.
Brian is reluctant to give up. He feels selling would be to admit defeat, but turning this hotel around isn't going to be easy. Ruth has targeted 3 key areas for emergency treatment. First, the office. Isolated in the bedroom, it's a hindrance to the smooth running of the business, and one reason why reception is unattended so often. Second, the lack of any official rating. To get one, they need to pay far more attention to detail. and the interior needs a complete overhaul. If the Key West can get a rating and up their prices, it'll help get rid of the stags and hens who are trashing the hotel. But Brian hasn't the confidence to reject this kind of clientele.
Bridget, we've got a battery for your vibrator.
Ruth wants to tackle this problem head on. She's decided to send Brian and Jill off to a local competitor. The Metro is a 15-room, 4-diamond rated guest house. 3 years ago, it was run down and condemned to a stag and hen hell. Its owners rejected the single-sex market and set about creating a modern, family-friendly environment. Ruth's hoping their attitude and ambition will prove an inspiration to a doubting Brian and Jill.
Good morning.
Good morning. I'm Sam.
I'm Jill.
Hi, Jill.
Hi, Sam.
I'm Brian.
Hi, Brian. Pleased to meet you.
Well, this is nice.
Wow, we've put some work in here, haven't they? Oh, I like this idea. That's great.
I've never seen anything like that. That is really nice. I like
So
that.
simple. Minimal, but tasty, if you know what I
It's
mean.
lovely. Oh, look, they've got the stainless steel ones. Our ones all got stolen.
Yeah, we had all ours nicked.
At least they see the funny side. But what will they make of the kitchen?
Yeah,
Fridge and everything.
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if they have a problem with people.
Nicking other people's stuff.
It seems to be a recurring theme. Across town, Ruth has set off on a fact-finding mission. Newquay has 300,000 visitors a year, but with over 180 hotels and guest houses, competition is fierce. Ruth wants to know how the market is split, so she's met up with Paul Wright, head of the local tourism bureau.
So how much would you say was family business?
It's about 27%
Right.
of our market.
So still probably the highest proportion of
It is.
anyone?
As I
Yeah?
say, the next one is the youth market, which is just
Right.
over 20%.
And coach parties,
Coach market's in decline, I think, for the whole of the UK now.
really?
Very much so.
Oh, this is music to my ears, because the biggest problem we've got with Brian and Jill is that they are very dependent on the coach business. They get bugger all money from them. If it's not something we should be pursuing, then I'm thrilled about that, personally.
Armed with the news that the coach market is waning, Ruth has arranged to meet Brian and Jill to discuss their situation.
Hello, hi. How are you?
Oh, we're fine.
Hello.
You had a good
Good
morning.
to see you.
Yes, it's been very good.
Yes,
It's been
yeah.
very enlightening.
Yeah? Did it inspire you in any way to think
Certainly
you
did.
could change?
Yeah, to realise that there is a possibility we could do something similar.
He showed us that you can make that sort of change.
Right. So the message I'm getting loud and clear is that Newquay is actually thriving in its only funny little ways. I mean, we have got the surfers. They represent something 20% or something in the market. 27% is still families.
Ah, well, you've surprised me there. In my mind, the market was diminishing.
No, I tell you what, in my mind, I don't think
Yeah.
your rooms are nice enough.
Yeah.
And I'm afraid that I think, in a way, you're kind of forcing yourself into that rather low coupon market by virtue of, you know, it's that spiral.
Yeah.
I think it is a changing market, and I
Yeah.
think, unfortunately, you're rather buried in the bit that's actually decaying. Even those with a sea view who take coach parties are struggling. Now, that should really tell you something.
Now Brian and Jill have woken up to the possibilities in Newquay, Ruth has taken them back to the hotel.
Now, looking at your fine establishment, what do you see?
Something not too appealing.
The entrance itself, it doesn't say come in to me.
What I see is not what's wrong with it in the sense of the decor.
Yeah.
It's the absence of something. Ratings.
But Ruth thinks they've still got a long way to go before she can call in the official inspector.
Pretend you have never been to this hotel before. It's not your hotel. You walk through. First impressions.
Tired. It is tired.
Right, well, I'm with you all the way on that. This, to me, is like entering the chapel of rest. And
I didn't think it was that bad.
the other thing that really got my eye the first time I came was I'm not at all keen on this sort of bell pushing, coming in, nobody being here.
Yeah.
For me, that's a problem, and I think I've
Yes.
got at least part of a solution, possibly. Come in if you can, Brian.
It's not one of our bigger rooms, I have to admit.
This room takes my breath away.
It's stunning, isn't it?
It is, yes.
It is just the most appalling thing I've ever been in. The problem is this room, when we're talking about going for ratings, this is just not going to cut the mustard.
it's
I mean,
not
it really isn't. So I have been thinking about ideas for this.
Good.
Wouldn't this make a marvellous office for you?
That sounds like a real good plan.
Jill, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about this as well. I feel as if I want to drag you a bit more into the business. Sending out letters, confirmation letters or whatever.
He won't let me have access to that because I'm absolutely useless.
She can't use a computer. She's totally computer
Okay, why
illiterate.
can't we put you on a day's course?
Well,
I'm
I
trying
have to
to
admit...
share the load
I
a bit
know, but
between the two
the
of you.
problem is, it's me, it's my baby, and I just don't like letting go.
In fact, he gets annoyed if I kind of get in the way.
Let's just take it a little bit at a time, because I'm sure if Jill could take over at least some of that administrative responsibility so that you've got a little bit more time.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Good.
Absolutely.
Good. Well, I'm pleased you're pleased. Good.
Thank you.
It's not just the office which troubles Ruth. She's also concerned about the kitchen and laundry.
I think this is slightly symptomatic of part of your problems. Hoarding rubbish.
Yes, you're quite right.
It does
Right.
need sorting.
Why are you hoarding them?
I don't know. I really don't
Like
know.
letting go. I tell you what, Brad, I think letting go, you know, cutting the circumcision thing is needed. I won't do it personally.
I'm glad about that.
Do you feel that this is a sort of lingering thing you can't bear to let go from things mentally?
Well,
as as
certainly
physically?
the circumcision bit does have its pain.
You'd like to hold on to your foreskin.
Oh, yes.
That's all right. That's all right. Shall we let him? I think so. I really truly believe that if you have a cluttered house, you have a cluttered brain. By decluttering, not only does it help the project along, but I think it will help you along mentally to feel that it's a genuinely fresh start. Lecture over.
One of the greatest challenges Ruth faces at the Key West is getting Brian to believe in his business. She needs him to set his sights on a better class of clientele.
Remember, we are not having the riffraff and the people who get drunk and steal from you and rip things off and do what have you. We are trying to get a nicer kind of personnel here, right? Remember. Remember.
I'm trying hard.
Come on, think about it.
Okay.
But before they can move away from that clientele, they need to make some radical changes. Only then will they be ready to face an official inspector and learn what fate awaits them. Brian and Jill Scott own and run the Key West Hotel in Newquay, but it's in trouble.
The building has been like a sponge. It's absorbed every penny we've ever had. It's taken in all our pension plan, it's taken in all our insurance policies. Every penny we've got is now owed to the bank.
Lumbered with a client base of stag and hen parties along with coachloads of OAPs, Brian is stressed out and overworked.
Steak and ale pie, lamb's liver, cheese omelette or tuna salad.
Tuna salad.
You know, I just think one day we're not sort of going to go out here together. We're going to go out in a box.
In desperation, they've enlisted the help of award-winning hotelier Ruth Watson. Her aim is to get the Key West ready for an official inspection, so they can get a recognised industry rating and raise their prices. But they've still got a long way to go.
Prisoners in Parkhurst probably get better facilities than that. It's a bit grim, Brian. It's a bit...
With their future at stake, Brian and Jill have pulled together what little money they have left to realise Ruth's recommendations. They've finally embraced her instructions and embarked on an epic schedule of refurbishment. The first stage is underway and Brian's made a start on upgrading the bedrooms. He's also transforming room 4 from a small single into an office. But the main focus is the public areas. They need a total overhaul to get the hotel up to standard. The plan is to give the bar and dining room a bright and attractive facelift to reflect the hotel's seaside location.
It's really, really good. It's a turning point for me, I'll tell you.
Unfortunately, it's not all good news.
What?
We've got that problem with that damp on that wall there.
Yeah.
But really, there's a bigger problem,
What's that?
and that's the fact that the water was getting in the first place.
Yeah.
That's causing the damp. Just
And
keep
do I think-
opening cans of worms everywhere.
No doubt when you paint the wall or the ceiling next door it's going to fall on your head because that's the way it is in here.
Ruth also wanted to relieve Brian's workload by sending Jill on a computer course.
Brian has tried to teach me, my sons have tried to teach me. The youngest one asked me not to go on his computer anymore. As a result of trying to teach me. So that kind of says it all really, doesn't it?
This one's what they call a formula, and that's what they call a function. Two different things, but don't worry about that.
Right. So that's that one. So, no, it's not. B. God.
That's all right.
Oh, my God.
Somehow I've got to make this look like that. Because if I know Jill, she really is a technophobe apart from PS2. She's a whiz at the PS2 games. Hopefully she'll have a little bit of interest, enough to get us by. And that's all I want, that's all I need.
Can I go home, please?
Can you go? Yeah, you can go.
Please, sir.
Yeah.
After 2 weeks of hard work, the Key West's transformation is finally complete. But will Ruth think they've done enough to prepare for their upcoming official inspection? A once oppressive red dining room is now light and bright and far more appealing. The bar has changed from what Ruth described as a working men's club into an enticing and comfortable modern space. The foyer now invites guests into the hotel and creates a good first impression. And finally, Brian has a sensible office within reach of reception. Ruth wants to find out if things have improved since the changes.
Hello, hi, how are you?
I'm fine.
Yes,
And
look
you?
at this. This is a bit better, isn't it? I don't feel as if I'm going to be laid to rest now. But the other thing I noticed was it didn't take you anything like as long to get to the door as it used to. So does that imply we have a new office upstairs?
We most certainly do. Oh, yes. Well, if you remember that room that you despised, and quite rightly so, I think you might find there's a slight change here now.
Do you know, I don't know how the fuck a bed ever got in here anyway. I mean, how did a bed ever get in this space? I mean, it's brilliant, isn't it?
It certainly is.
No,
And I'm
it's
on top of
marvellous.
everything. I can hear what's going on. Oh, yes, we've got quite...
You look like you've got a jolly good lot of bookings in as well.
There's a fair few. There's a fair
Got
few.
some scary, horrible low rate. It is a depressing figure, £17.
It is.
It's even more vital they gain a rating so they can put their prices up.
If you come through and see this, I think you'll be quite impressed with the change. What do you think?
Brian, do you know, this for me is the biggest joy of the whole lot. Of everything I've seen, I mean, it just makes sense now. You've got the kitchen and you've got the kitchen stores.
Yep.
And you haven't got sundry bits of linen and laundry and crap and all that stuff
No.
lying around. And it surely must make working a lot easier.
Oh, it does. We've had 3 coaches in now, and the service has gone without a problem at all.
Absolutely.
The chef thinks it's great.
And
He
you
thinks
can
it should
see
be.
how much Bisto and stock powder and crappy food you've got on your shelves. No, sorry, I don't like the contents, but I do love the way it's arranged.
Actually,
what's happened to all the bloody linen, though?
Well, I'd like to show you that. I think you might be impressed with that as well. If you follow me. Debbie, this is Ruth.
Hello, how do you do?
Oh,
And you're in charge of this now.
Yes, I am.
You must think you've died and gone to terry toweling heaven.
Definitely, yes.
I mean, this is just, I can't believe it. I mean, this was just full of crap and tat.
Yes, Christmas decorations, you name it. And I'd only just started the job as well. And then the second time I came in here, this was one clear space for me to do as I pleased.
So your job is now 1,000 times easier.
It's a pleasure to be out here, yes.
Brilliant. Well, do you feel more sorted in your head with having done
Oh,
this?
yes, by far.
So you're sort of more
Out
in
of sight.
control.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
by far.
With so much at stake, she investigates the rest of the changes Brian's made on her own.
Now, this is one of the rooms that Brian has done up. Doesn't look anything like as daggy, that's for sure, but I'm not sure whether it's really up to snuff yet. There's no guest information. It's pretty basic still, but it does look fresher, I have to say. I think this looks great, Brian. I really do. I love the dining room particularly. Are you thrilled?
Yes,
I am. I think it's been a brilliant job. It's upgraded it no end.
For you, what I hope all this improvement's doing is giving you some more self-respect and pride in the business, because I do think that if you have parties of people in, whether they're young people or older people, if they see a place looking nice, they're going to treat it with much more respect.
We had, and I hate to say it, a rugby group in.
Right.
They were a perfectly good rugby group. They did all the things that rugby people did, but when they had their drinking competitions and everything, they moved everybody out of the lounge area into the bar area.
Yeah.
They put bar towels and mats between the carpet and the bar area to protect it, carried on with their drinking and cleaned up. On the last night, they were up till 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning partying in the foyer because this area was locked. Yeah. And at 7 o'clock in the morning, they asked for a hoover and cloths so they could clean it up. And that's a rugby club.
My God. Well, I mean, that's two things. Either they were very much in touch with their feminine side, or this proves the point that if somewhere looks nice, they're not going to treat it like a shithole.
Well, last year, I would guarantee they wouldn't have cared less.
I think that's really important because, of course, you've got your inspection coming up. And I think it's really, really important. If the inspection comes up trumps, which let's hope it does, then I really want to see you stop thinking about coach parties as being the linchpin of your business. And to be quite honest, Brian, the way it looks in certain areas now, here and next door, etc., it's fucking wasted on the bloody coaching people.
I agree with you. I agree.
I mean, it's good enough for people to spend 30, 35 quid a head on.
Well, this is what I believe, along with getting the ratings. Yeah. And this has been the whole... So I've not believed in myself, and I didn't have much to believe in anyway, and not having a rating and not being able to go for it has held me back.
But do you feel we're getting somewhere towards you feeling that extra confidence, that extra, I have got something to be proud of, I can charge more for it? Are we making inroads in there?
Yes, we are making inroads.
Yeah.
Now all her changes have been implemented, Ruth has decided it's time to arrange for a visit from the official inspector.
The best possible outcome of any rating is that I can hold my head up and say, look, we know we're good, we're approved, we've done this, we've done that, we come up to the standards that are required. From that, I can then start adjusting my prices accordingly. And by doing that, we will weed out the people that do trash the hotel because they won't come here.
The rating will be awarded by an undercover inspector. The inspector could come at any time.
We haven't yet heard about an inspection, but my understanding of it is that we don't know that there's going to be an inspection. It just happens and we don't know about it until afterwards.
I'm very nervous about this. It's personally one of the biggest things that's happened to me. If I get this through, I will feel such a sense of achievement. It'd be unbelievable, and there might be a bit of champagne flowing afterwards.
The inspector will book in under an assumed name, spend the night, have breakfast, and check out in the morning. Only then will they reveal their true identity.
It could have already happened, but I don't know that. I don't know if it has or not.
But Brian is so busy preparing for the arrival of a coach party.
If they have a late dinner, I'll explain why, and I'll explain to the coach company also. See you later. Poxy drivers. Bastards.
He fails to notice one solitary booking, a single businessman. It's been 2 minutes since the inspector first arrived.
Oh, hello. You must be Mr. Frost.
Ford,
sorry.
Sorry.
My mistake.
The northern accent.
No, it's right.
All the best rooms have been assigned to the coach party.
We've got a coach in tonight, so therefore all the other rooms are sold out. So the only one we had available was a small double. I hope you don't mind.
That's okay.
And
Finally safe in his room, the inspection can begin.
It smells quite fresh. Decorations clean and tidy. 2 types of wallpaper, a little bit of wear and tear to the busy areas, but generally in quite good order. Flooring's quite bad. Yeah, it's a small room, a lot of wear and tear, a few stains. Does it smell fresh? Yes, it smells fresh. It is a requirement to have it changed for each new guest. Headboard, is it fitted to the bed? Oh, it's a little bit loose. We recommend you tighten that up in the morning. I don't want to be disturbing anybody in the next room.
As the inspector settles in, downstairs the coach party has arrived.
Hotel all here. And the next, please.
Checking in is a slow process.
B&B.
Have all this booked
Right.
in front.
Okay.
When are you found?
What would you like to eat? That's left above me, then straight to the end. Your door locks from the inside. Press the button, turn it, pull it closed behind you. You're the other Jones. I've got 2 on here. You're in room 23. And the next, please.
Bathroom. Let's have a look. Initial impressions when you walk in, it's reasonably clean. Attention to detail, the toilet roll's been folded. Have a look. Some problems with cleanliness. Toothbrush holder, still with remnants of toothpaste in. Flooring's really quite, it's poor. The light over the sink isn't working. Assume that the bulb has gone. Generally an acceptable bathroom, but certainly room for improvements.
Once all the guests are settled into their rooms, Brian has to prepare for dinner. It must be ready at 6:30 exactly. It's a busy time for him. Barman, proprietor, hotel manager.
Let's just give you a little bit of information.
The dinner seems to be going down well, but while the diners dine, the inspectors come down for an early evening drink. It seems Brian has absolutely no suspicions about his guest's true identity.
It's a very good restaurant. It's only been there for 2 years, 3 years probably now.
After a night's sleep, the inspector's next task is to assess the quality of the breakfast. It's a busy time. 36 guests from the coach party are also vying for a bowl of cornflakes. His is now the one opinion that matters. He'll be looking at the quality of ingredients and service. With breakfast over and the coach party gone, it's time for the inspector to check out. Only now will he reveal his true identity.
I've got used to it, just in the background.
I would just like to further add to that because I'm here from Quality and Tourism, representing Visit Britain to do your national assessment.
Well, I must say, that is the icing on the cake this morning. Thank you. Brilliant. This is just all I need. I just hope I come up to scratch.
Ruth has come to check up on how the assessment is going. But first, Brian and Jill must take the inspector on a tour of all their rooms.
Your cabinets here take up a fair bit of room. What you might want to consider is actually putting shelves. Your chair where it is quite awkward.
That's not supposed to be there.
What you are missing in this room is...
Yesterday, Brian unwittingly gave the inspector one of his worst rooms. Now he has a chance to see the whole hotel. It's make or break time for the Scots.
Cleanliness issues in here. We're missing attention to detail.
You clean
I'm constantly...
Yeah, because, you know, when you turn it off...
I'm not sure this inspection's going very well. I think there's some problems with cleanliness and the general standard of decor I think is a bit dodgy, and it is, that's the problem.
For the past 4 months, Ruth Watson has been trying to bring the Key West Hotel out of the financial quagmire it's been stuck in. The hotel's transformation is complete, but to survive, the Key West desperately needs a rating.
I'm very nervous about this. It's personally one of the biggest things that's happened to me.
Ruth arranged for an official inspector to assess the Key West. Posing as a guest, he stayed the night in one of the hotel's less inspiring rooms. He then inspected the whole hotel. But was it too little, too late? It's the moment of truth for Brian and Jill.
How the assessment works is that we have an overall percentage which you've got to achieve to receive a star rating, and it goes from 1 to 5. Right, the next stage I'd like to take you through is the visitor experience. Yes. Okay, the arrival. You've got a bell outside and a bell on the bar and a notice. You know, I'm quite attentive doing the job that I do, and I struggled. When you did come through to reception, you had a smart appearance, you were very welcoming. Except, you know, you knew I was arriving, I was the only single guest, and you got my name wrong. Again, attention to detail, but people love to be recognised. It's that little bit of, you know, comfort from them. You know, first impressions are very, very important. Come down into the bar last night about 7:15, really polite, very easy to talk to, you're very approachable with your customers. You couldn't do enough for people, getting maps, I mean, we were chatting about restaurants and you got me the guide. Your customer care levels are very, very good. You really do care about what you're doing, so well done on that. Right, that was the bar. Breakfast this morning. What I think you really should do is look at where you actually place that, your buffet table. I mean, it's right in your corridor. The table's far too small. I mean, the milk jug was having to stand in the cereal bowls because there just wasn't enough room on the table. Right, we're nearly done. The appearance of the building when I pulled up, all nice clean net curtains, creates a good impression. Initial impression when you come into reception, clean and tidy. You've done a really good job in here. Real asset to the property with the bar as well. Housekeeping is something which is well within your control. The bedrooms, the furniture is stuff that needs investment. Cleanliness is so important, and it is one of the areas that has quite badly let you down.
Yes.
Okay. But what I am prepared to do is work with you on this, and what I'm going to do is actually award you a 2-star rating. You've done extremely well to actually lift the standards from what the hotel was. Once it actually gets confirmed in our system, you are officially guest accommodation 2-star with Visit Britain.
Fabulous. Thank you very much.
Well done.
Done something.
Just don't get all emotional on me.
Never thought I would. I never thought I'd get 1 star.
Excellent. Do you want to go and take a break? Go on.
About a break, I need something. I need something strong. Cup of coffee, I think. Oh, it's great. Yes. I feel absolutely over the moon at the moment. It's a bit hard to take in.
It's not that important to me, but it is very important to Brian.
I think I've done it. I really think I've done it.
It's time for one last discussion.
Brian, I thought you were going to have a seizure when the inspector said that you'd got 2 stars.
I never expected it.
I didn't expect a 2-star, I have to be honest. I thought it would just be a 1.
I mean, you were really emotionally overcome. I don't think it's an exaggeration to say.
I am actually quite pleased that I've managed to do something.
Really, well done. Well done. I mean, I'm thrilled for you, and I think it's absolutely marvellous that you have gained those stars. I think it's a real credit to you. Brian, I really do want you to try to start to manage your time better.
Yes, I understand that.
Because these 2 stars and a burgeoning business is not going to stop you going to an early grave. Mm-hmm. You are wrecking your business just by trying to stretch yourself too thinly, because you can't, and you can't be everywhere. Somewhere between Jill and you is the right thing. Jill's almost too laid back about it. You know, it's like, oh, fuck it, life will be all right anyway, you know, and she's not wrong. You're kind of like, life won't be all right without you, you know, and you're doing that really tight, hyper thing. If you carry on doing it the way you are at the moment, you are not going to have a business to worry about because you will be dead, right? The best way forward now with these 2 stars is for you to get as much business in this year as possible. Yes. Try next year to get rid of some of the coach thing or get the price up because you've now got a rating, and get more of the family-orientated business in, so that next year is a mixture of coach and higher grade business. Yes. And then with a view to hopefully perhaps selling it, because I think you're the square pin in the round hole here. I mean, the great thing as far as I'm concerned is that all the way through you've been saying, I don't want to sell this until I've achieved something. Yes. Well, you have. Yes. You just have. You've now got a rating. You've got a place that looks a whole stack better than it did. This is a way to develop this business with a view, in my mind, to selling up and taking on a smaller operation that really suits your skills better.
That really sounds really quite nice, actually.
It is, and it's possible. And it is possible.
Good. Thank you.
When I first came to Key West, I found a really broken man, a man dealing with stags and hens, a dingy, grim hotel. Brian has now got 2 stars. He's absolutely thrilled with them, and I think this is going to give him huge confidence. The hotel is starting to look better, and whilst I still think that Brian hasn't got a thick enough skin to deal with all these coach parties and isn't cynical enough, I do think he's got something now to go from. He's got a hotel which looks a whole lot better, and he has some confidence in his abilities as a hotel keeper. I still would like to see him in a small hotel with fewer rooms, but really good luck to him because he's come a long way.